Hi. Hey, thanks for joining us for a quick conversation about context switching. Our team here at Agile in Nonprofits, we do not like context switching. What in the world is context switching, you may ask? It is not the same idea as multitasking, doing two things at the same time, or three things at the same time. Different conversation for another day. Context switching is the idea of having one body of work that we're focused on, maybe one project, one deep work moment, and then having to set it down and completely switch gears and go into another project. I get it. Our calendars are completely full with meetings, and so we might feel like that is just the name of the game and the name of what our day looks like. But it really, according to the research from Harold Weinberg, it produces waste every time we have to put down one body of work and pick up the next. So how do we as nonprofit professionals, how do we make it through it knowing that there are always many projects on our plate that are open at one time? Well, I think one of the best things that we can do is think about how to group similar types of work so that at least it is less of a pinball moment for our brain as we try to think about the work that we have committed to. A great example actually comes from our writing team at DH Leonard Consulting. They may have 30 grant applications open at any one time, but instead of going, well, I did this one and then I'm going to pick up that one and then that one, a writer will say, I am picking up project A, and when I put it down, I'm going to look to see if there's any other ready work in our sprint for that same organization, because then my brain at least in the same spot for that organization, and that's going to minimize at least some of the time it takes to get settled back in, and I'll do all the work for that particular organization that I can in a row, batch it together before I go to think about a different organization. So it might look like different projects because they're different application components. The idea of keeping all the one application, all of the one organization's work together, regardless of the number of applications we're talking about, is minimizing their context switching. So is it possible to always avoid context switching? Not always. I wish that could be the case for all teams, but we want to think about how we minimize that pinball feeling for ourselves. And so that batching is one way that our team has found works really well for us to minimize that potential waste as we switch from one project to another. I've been talking about and writing about some other ideas, but you know what? I want to hear what works for you. And if your team is trying to minimize your context switching, what's worked? Or maybe what did you try that didn't work? Let us know in the comments or be sure to reach out because this is a spot that our team, we are super passionate about and we're here and ready to dig in and find new ways of working that help nonprofits create twice the impact in half the time. So also don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss any of our tips or tricks related to being agile in your nonprofit.